Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Sonia Rajesh from Chit Chat with Sonia. Say Yes to English. Say Yes to English brings many entrepreneurs on its platform where the entrepreneurs can share their journey with us. I'm sure many of us will be inspired by them and will be motivated by their successful journeys. Today, we have a special guest on our show, that is Namita Vijaykumar. She's a design thinking practitioner, and she is also the founder of Learning Ethos, a startup company which deals with design thinking courses and much more. So let us hear from her itself. Welcome, Namita, to our show, Chit Chat with Sonia by Say Yes to English. It's really a pleasure to have you with us.
Thank you so much, Sonia, for this remarkable platform, and hats off to all your efforts in promoting entrepreneurship and helping people learn through your chit chat shows and many other forums that you are a part of. Thank you so much for having me.
It's my pleasure, dear. I would like to just know about how you started this journey. Were you always interested in design thinking, or did it happen on a day?
Well, I am basically an engineer by qualification, started off as a software engineer, a techie, a campus recruit from the engineering college right to Wipro campus, and then worked in India and UK for a couple of years. In the tech industry, in the IT industry. And then I realized all this while I realized my passion, my interest towards learning, coaching, and training especially. I figured out during my tech career that I don't belong behind the computer scenes, but I belong in front of people. So I made a career switch, very bold career switch from a very hardcore tech stream to something as non-technical as delivering behavioral and leadership trainings. And luckily for me, that time Wipro had a very strong in-house training team, and I was a part of that. I was able to be a part of that. I did executive MBA from IIM Calcutta with a specialization in people management, which kind of helped me make the switch, but it was not an easy switch. It took some time. That's how I became a facilitator. As a facilitator, as a trainer, I was always interested in people development, topics related to leadership. And I was doing mostly campus to corporate leadership initiatives till I met my co-founder Kavita Telreja in a design thinking workshop that we both were doing together in 2018. So that's when I started picking up more interest in creativity, innovation, and design thinking. And it's been a roller coaster ride ever since, and there's been no looking back once I got into design thinking.
So what is actually design thinking? How will the students know about the design thinking? Just give a small, nugget about it.
Yes. So before I give you a textbook definition of what design thinking is, let me just try and explain this in a very simple way so that all your viewers, including students, housewives, entrepreneurs, professionals, all will be able to understand why design thinking is gaining popularity all of a sudden, right? And why is it such a niche skill and an important skill to have? So, Sonia, if you look at it, me and you and all our listeners today, we use a lot of products and services day in and day out, right? There are some services and products that's become a part and parcel of our lives, knowingly or unknowingly, including the laptop in which I'm speaking to you, including the mobile phones that we have, including apps in the mobile phones like your Swiggy, Zomato, Ola, Uber, and so many other services that we use like Myntra, to your saloon services, Urban Clap, and so on and so forth. I'm sure that there are certain services and products we used and we loved it so much that we've become like they have become a part of our lives, and we've become brand loyal to those products and services. On the other hand, I'm sure most of us also have certain products which we bought once, and then it's there in some corner of our house somewhere, not used at all, and then we regret buying such products and services, isn't it? So the fundamental question here is, what differentiates the products and services that click in the market, that become innovations like your Myntra and Swiggy and others. And what happens to the other products and services that do not fare well in the market? You know, what makes products and services or experiences innovative, right? While there is no magic formula for innovation, there is some structured approach, certain tool sets, skill sets, and mindset, which will help you to ensure that your products, services are become innovative, right? Or are innovative, and you are able to solve your customers' problems in a very creative manner. This is what design thinking does. So in short, design thinking is a structured method or a structured approach to creative problem solving and innovation. I hope that's clear.
So what is your advice to any entrepreneur or anyone who wants to start this design thinking as a business or anything else?
Okay, well, design thinking as a business may not be a right approach. Design thinking is only an approach to innovation. It is a means to an end. It is not an end in itself. So entrepreneurs, startup companies who are now struggling to establish their products and services in the market, whatever that product, whatever that services be, they can adopt the design thinking methodology to make their products and services innovative and stand out in the market, and ensure that customers love their products and be loyal to their products or services for that matter. So that's an approach that entrepreneurs and startup companies can take in adopting design thinking for their businesses.
So are the courses customized, or like how is it done? Is it available for the kids as well as the adults?
Yeah, so design thinking is something that can be learned for any age groups for that matter. In fact, you catch them early, it's even better. So we have a design thinking program which is done in a very fun way using colorful doors for the little ones. But our core focus has been in empowering adults to be more creative in their whatever you are doing. You know, there is a general misconception that creativity means you have to be either an artist or a painter or an actor or a dancer. No, even in IT, you can be, even if you are an IT engineer, you can still be creative. If you are a mathematician, you can still be creative. You are a CA, you can still be creative, right? So we as Learning Ethos, our company focus on helping people, especially adults, to give them confidence of their creative abilities, to enhance what we call as a creative confidence, and thus helping them to drive innovation in their field of work. So creativity is your first step towards driving innovation. So we help adults to be more confident about their creative abilities, how to become more creative in their field of work without switching your area of work. How can you be creative in your current work? And how with those creative abilities you can make your business very innovative. How can you make sure that your products and services reach your customers and they love your products and services? So that is what the design thinking courses do. We have various types of courses that we offer at Learning Ethos. We offer a blended learning format because design thinking is not a session that you can do for 2 or 3 hours and expect innovation to happen. There's no magic that's going to happen. So we do live sessions, then we give them some practice exercises. There are learning nuggets that is being sent. This is a blended learning form. So we have courses specially for startup entrepreneurs, focusing on how you can use design thinking in your business to flourish your business. We also have programs for working professionals on how you can be more creative in your field of work and help you in career growth. How can design thinking and that approach help you in creative problem solving and your career growth? We also have another program for housewives and people who still don't know what to do. You know, they still don't have that idea, to help them come up with some idea based on their strengths. What are you good at? Identify that, and then enhance your creativity, and then maybe set up a business or run a venture, whatever you need. We also have programs for the corporate clients where we look at how leaders can help in flourishing, in fostering creativity within their team members. So these are the different, in a nutshell, these are the different kinds of programs that we do. For more details, our learners can always log into our website, which is learningethos.in, and you'll get all the details of other courses there.
So it is, of course, really nice to know it's a one-stop, shop-stop solution for everyone, isn't it? Like everyone, whether it's a leader, a housewife, or a budding entrepreneur, anyone can, learn from the design thinking, and succeed in their professional careers, isn't it?
That's right, Sonia.
So you have been taking offline sessions, the pre-COVID times, but hasn't it affected your, sessions once the COVID came in?
Yes, I mean, if I say that it is not affected at all, then that wouldn't be an honest answer. So before COVID, we used to do all our design thinking workshops in a D lab, which is called as a design lab, where we had a lot of these props, stationery, post-its, colorful charts, sketch pens, and a lot of frame wires, cramples, and all of that. Which is it's a very colorful setup. All of this is lying in my attic now. But then when COVID struck us, as design thinkers, we felt we need to see as design thinkers every adversity as an opportunity. So that's what we did. We converted that adversity into an opportunity. We learned about a lot of these online collaboration tools like Miro and Storms, in which the team of learners can come together and work on this collaborative whiteboard on the virtual screen. It's almost like you're all sitting in a classroom and all of us are writing on a single chart paper. So we did a lot of these colorful experiments. We experimented a lot with different tools. And that's how we brought in that fun element back in our virtual sessions. We even recently did a design sprint, a 90 minutes design sprint, which is in the form of a ship journey. So, people, all of those who were missing that travel because of COVID, enjoyed the sprint because it was formatted like a ship journey where you see different places, you explore the high waves and the low tides, etc. There are sharks, there are dolphins, there are ups and downs, just like in life. And we looked at how we can redesign our lives for the COVID era, right? All of us, our lives have changed post the COVID. So how can we redesign our lives? Our lives can also be designed. It's not just products and services. So how can we design our lives to be more happy during this COVID time? So that is a design sprint we did recently for 90 minutes.
So it is indeed very nice to hear about it. So I heard that you are a dancer also. So how do you take time for this passion of yours?
Yeah, I believe that nobody gives you time. You have to get the time. You have to make the time. If you make time, time will happen. So I am a mother of two and I am an entrepreneur. I manage the house. So there's a lot of work that I do. But despite anything, what I ensure is that I find some me time. I find some time to connect with my inner self. And for me, that's through dance. Because dance has been a passion right from a young age. Because I came from a very academically driven family, there was a lot of emphasis on getting good marks, scoring really high. So dance, arts are all took a backseat during my pre-teens and early 20s. But I picked it up after marriage. My husband has been very supportive and encourages me. And my in-laws have been more supportive than my parents when it comes to dance. So with all their support, I've been able to, without any break, after my second pregnancy, after my son was born, without any break, I've been continuing to learn dance. My genre, my favorite genre and my core forte is in Mohiniyattam, which is the classical dance form of Kerala.
Oh, it's so nice to hear. I also love dancing. And so it was really nice talking to you, Namita. And I'm sure many will be inspired by the design thinking, the nuggets which you gave us today. So thank you once again for being here. Best wishes for all your future endeavors.
Sure, Sonia, before I close, I'd like to just give 3 simple tips. I thought of this just before closing. I'll give 3 simple tips to all the entrepreneurs, startup enterprises listening to this show. 3 tips for you is, firstly, keep an open mind, experiment more, and defer judgment. These are my 3 tips for all the entrepreneurs. Get your hands dirty, experiment more, keep an open mind, know your customers really well, and defer judgment. Don't be too quick in judging people. So these are my 3 takeaways as you close the session. Thank you so much for having me. It's been fantastic interacting with you. And I hope our listeners have also benefited something out of it.
Yeah, sure. So that was Namita talking to us about her entrepreneurial journey and design thinking learning ethos workshops. So Say Yes to English believes in bringing more entrepreneurs, womanpreneurs, and solopreneurs to a platform where they can be an inspiration to the students and the next generation. So stay tuned for more updates. Thank you so much. Have a blessed day.